last time I left you all, you saw my beautiful garden, and I'm driving, so I'm not looking at you guys. Safety first. But now I had planted a few things. So I planted a bunch of stuff from seeds, but I want to kind of have like staggered, if that makes sense. So I want to have like some things that are ready or almost there, and then some things that are just starting out, because in Florida the weather is nice for most of the year, and so I am able to kind of have veggies throughout. And then of course I also need like a ton of flowers because I love the colors. And if you saw on the end of the last video, I bought a Ladybug butterfly bee home, and I love them, and I love buying like pollinated flowers. But if you didn't know, if you plant like pollinating flowers near your veggies and fruits, you will have a better time growing them, because the bees will come and the butterflies will come and they end up getting your veggies better. So fun fact. So I've just been driving around today to the different plant nurseries. I got some really cool things for like sale price. So I have some more in the back, but I just have to say these two flowers right here, I got them for $1. $1, you guys. I also totally forgot to mention, you might have seen it on Instagram, but I got a eucalyptus tree, so I will also be planting that today, and I'm gonna grow the pot first in the house, and then I'm gonna move it to the yard. But if you didn't know, eucalyptus gets huge, so don't plant it unless you have property. So here is our little spinach, and this is a red bell pepper. And then we have some cauliflower. I planted some snapdragons here, which I don't see any sprouts yet. And this is butterfly weed, which I also got on sale for like $2. So that's a win. And then I planted lavender here with the onions and the Angelina that for some reason looks really sad right now. Shout out to Leslie on YouTube. You guys should check her out. And Leslie, let me know what's wrong with my Angelina, please. Because I have another Angelina over here that is just so happy. And then we have tomatoes, and I planted a whole bunch of things in here. So how sad is it that I didn't have markers? And I don't know what these little guys are. I think they might be the carrots. I'm not 100% sure, but look at them. They're making their debut, you guys. I love seeing my little sprouts come. Time to plant flowers in the front yard. So if you've never had these flowers, bumblebees and honeybees absolutely love them. So do butterflies, but they're just a favorite of mine for that reason. So I planted them along the front of the house, which yes, we're still working on, hence this pile. When I showed you we dug the trench, we kept finding things like this. And then as I'm planting the flowers, and you just saw it back here, I keep finding pieces of pottery, like broken pottery. So again, super old house, who knows what it was, but I just think these look so pretty. I can't decide if I want to leave the clovers because I love them, but these will add really nice color in spring. So those are gonna, I think, get kind of full. So I'm gonna space them out in how I plant them. But you can see the flowers that I just planted here. I'm planting the bulbs here on the end, but first I need to pull up some of my beautiful clovers. So the thing with bulbs that my grandmother actually taught me was, if you see the size here of the bulb, you want to dig a hole that is double the size of the bulb. So see the size here, and then you can see it's like a pretty good size hole. You just want to make sure that it's double the size, and then go ahead and cover it back up. And with trees, flowers, bulbs, any of that, make sure you give them plenty of watering in the beginning so that they have nice wet soil to take to. So I also really like the clovers because I've been finding these pretty little blue flowers popping up in them. I love wildflowers. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep the clovers? Should I get rid of them? Okay, ignore the crazy hair. It is unbelievably humid here in Florida today. But I just wanted to go over some things with the garden. If you're just starting out and want to do your own home garden, you're trying to homestead, that kind of thing. So these flowers, I said I mixed in, different flowers. That is the butterfly weed in with the veggies. And like I said, that's to help with pollination, which will give you, it'll produce more fruits and veggies. And I also just love bees and butterflies, and I want them to be happy and healthy, and why not have them in my organic garden helping me produce more veggies while they, do their thing. But the other thing that I was gonna say is the reason that I stagger, so you'll see like here, I planted some seeds in here, and then I have some that are already started, and I've done that like throughout the garden. So this one as well, this is where I showed you the sprouts are coming up, but you can see like some things are already here. And the point in that is because and it's not going to work everywhere, but if you're trying to avoid having to go to the store and be able to produce your own food to then eat and enjoy, obviously not everything is year-round, so you want to be able to have it in seasonal, because basically the Florida sun will burn up different things in the summertime. They just cannot handle it. So I want to make sure that things that will thrive in the summer will pop up in the summer and, not fry in our sun. But if you live somewhere seasonal, it's very important to check on the packets of the seedlings and see what they say as far as the best time to plant them, so that they'll thrive and do their best. So every seed that I planted, like those little saplings that you saw come up, they were best to be planted now, which is why I put them in the ground. I have a few that I'm holding off until later in spring, and then depending on how the rest of the garden is going, I might get a new box, or I might just intermingle them with everything. So I just wanted to give a little bit of an explanation, especially if you're trying to store your own. Oh, well, so if you didn't know, I'm vegan, and so the veggies are very, very important to me, which is why I also will say check your varieties. So I have like my greens, it's all about color, but I also planted a bunch of beans because protein. Also, to give you relevance as far as like where the garden is to the butterfly house. And then I also, if you see right here, I did like a little hummingbird home. And like I said, I'm gonna do more with this land. I'm gonna share with you all as I do it. So this is not the last. We are not ending with the garden, okay? So many more fun things to come. Probably gonna get rid of that basketball. I keep finding the craziest stuff on this property, you guys. Okay, so like I was saying before, I am gonna plant the eucalyptus in our house in a pot for a little bit. And then probably in about a year, I plan to put it outside unless it just starts growing like crazy. So I have a nice big pot here, but first I'm putting some rocks in the bottom like I did with my planters. And that's because they are drought tolerant, and so I don't want them to worry about having like too much water. Plus you don't want your roots to rot. So here is my pot here. I ignored a little bit of leaves, but I put some rocks in here. And now I'm gonna put some of the soil and compost. And yeah, I'll show you guys the eucalyptus tree a little bit later, but then we started this project here for our walkway from the driveway to our front door.
We ran out of sand. Actually, I ran out of sand. Justin's at work, so I was doing this by myself. So while I await more sand, I decided to start another project instead of going somewhere. Started digging here. So if you remember from the beginning, there was these little bushes here. We uprooted them and we moved them somewhere else, and we are going to plant different little tiny trees here. They're so cute. I'll show you the after, but for the record, I don't know if you can tell by looking in there, it's so rocky, and like right here where I'm having trouble getting down, cinder blocks everywhere. Cinder blocks, you guys, cinder blocks. More to come, but back to our eucalyptus. Okay, so soil is right at the top of the plant, which is what you want. Yes, I did water it before I added more soil. Don't worry, it's plenty wet down there, because you want to make sure they have plenty of water first to store it out. So my pretty little eucalyptus, staying in the gray theme of our bedroom. This is the pot that I chose, and I'm just gonna wipe it off a little bit from the dirt and bring it in the house. And if you remember from last time with the bedroom we left off, I said we were waiting on materials, and as you can see, our materials have come. And this was my faux brick to go in line with the rest of my vision with the concrete look of the paint. So typically you would use adhesive to put these to the walls. I wanted them to look more natural, which is why Justin is caulking and drilling. Ta-da! Ignore Justin's dirty thing, and we're still figuring out the outlets, but I am so in love with this wall. It is exactly how I envisioned. There's a few things that I want to do to like really seal the deal with it, but this was what I was waiting for. So the garden is coming together. The room is finally how I envisioned it. We're getting a walkway. It's all rolling into one. And if you didn't peep, my beautiful eucalyptus tree in the corner. More to come, you guys. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.